You're entitled to nothing but the work. No rewards, no easy days, no guarantees. Only the chance you show up, to sweat, to suffer, to sacrifice. The work owes you nothing, but you must give everything.
The price of your dreams tomorrow is the discomfort of accepting it today. Half of being stuck comes from resisting reality. It comes from resisting your thoughts, resisting the negative feelings. So acceptance means carrying the circumstances, the feelings, the thoughts with you rather than fighting them.
You need to work on yourself. If you just try to be pampered, and if you're trying to be soft, and if you're trying to be the victim and all stuff, you're not gonna go anywhere. We need to get stronger. We need to get tougher. We need to not be afraid of failure. We got to face adversity. Adversity breeds character. We have to be willing to go through hardship, through suffering. Don't shy away from any of that because it just makes you stronger.
Acceptance isn't about settling or giving up, but it's about staring the storms of reality in the face and knowing that you can find peace within it. Acceptance isn't about staying somewhere, but it's about giving you the clarity to move to where you're supposed to be.
It's most important when things are falling apart, to be able to say, hey, I'm thankful to be in this position because not only am I going to learn a lot, but I have this tremendous opportunity to overcome this, which is only going to make me stronger, better, and more skilled at what I do. Things may not be going well right now, but I'm still in a very, very good position compared to a lot of people in the world. There's a lot of people who are sick. There's a lot of people who are going to die today. You know, there's a lot of people who, you know, they're never going to have the opportunity to even come back from what I have. You know, that's when gratitude really matters.
The best stories in life, they're not the success stories, not the stories about winning, not the happily ever afters. The best story is when you f everything up. You hit rock bottom, everyone counts you out, and somehow you claw your way back. That's the story we all remember. That's the one we all respect. Everyone roots for an underdog. Everyone loves a comeback. So if you're down and out right now, don't waste it. This is where your story begins.
If you are living a comfortable life, it only means you are continuously staying inside a field of what you know already. So every time you are crossing that line, every time you are expanding that border, you are expanding that limit. For me, this means there is some growth. There is a new discovery. Because what you are doing is, you are bringing light into a space that before that time was a space of uncertainty. It's uncomfortable because you don't know the outcome.
If I have unbelievable big dreams and big goals, then I have to go through hard times. The hard times are a requisite for success. And so if you're going through hard times right now, it means that you're on the path to success, and it's not that you're on the wrong path, it's the feeling of being on the right path.
The biggest advice I could give you right now is just showing up. Show up. If you show up, there's a chance something could happen.
If you want to be great, if you want to get the recognition, if you want all the things that you dream about, there is only one way to guarantee that you will have those things. Only one. And that is becoming so fucking good at what you do, no matter what it is you do, that it is undeniable that other people recognize how great you are.
It's the hardest thing in the world, to get up every day and give 100% and be in the same position that you were each day, but mentally know that you're trying and trying and trying. That's a real grind.
I'm not gonna rest, I'm gonna keep on pushing now. There are a lot of answers that I don't have, even questions that I don't have. I'm just gonna keep going. Just gonna keep going, and I'll figure these things out as I go, right? And you just continue to build that way.
can't see the proper light if you have never indulged in the very, very deepest dark times.
The work needs doing. It's just like there's no way around it. Like it just has to be confronted. And I think it just comes down to that, is you just have to confront the work. And a lot of people put a lot of extra things between them and the work that they try and romanticize, they try and create superstitions around it, But like at the end of the day, the work doesn't care who you are. It just cares that it gets done.
Stop thinking that you're going to wake up on Monday morning and then have a perfect streak of perfect days where you do everything perfectly. You're not just going to decide on some random Sunday evening that you're going to wake up tomorrow and be a new person and do everything perfectly now, and it's going to be a straight line to the top. The objective is improvement, which means being a little bit better today than you were yesterday. When you're in a position where you have all these bad habits and you haven't developed the character traits to be the person you want to be is ridiculous. You can't just change your personality on a whim. You have to incrementally change it over time by changing your actions. Don't think of it as I'm going to be a new person. Think of it as I'm going to get a little bit better every single day for the rest of my life.
Expect big things. Think big. Think big. You can do it. You can do it. Why can't I do it? Take a little bit of piece at a time of daily goals, monthly goals. You can make it happen. It can happen. What's impossible in your life, go after that. Have that. Go after what's impossible.
Let me tell you what comes on the road to success. If recently, at any point in the last 12 months, you've experienced doubt, if you have a lot of fear or anxiety on the road you're on, or if you've experienced those emotions recently about what you're doing, you feeling like an imposter, if you felt anything like rejection, like lots of rejection, you're on the road that I think you should be on, the right road, the road less traveled.
The moment you make a decision, the moment you say to yourself, this is the workout plan I'm doing, this is the diet, this is the business I'm starting, this is what I'm going to pursue, there is no turning back. You don't negotiate with yourself, you don't change the plan because it's not perfect for you anymore. You do what you said you were going to do.
Nobody's going to believe in you until you've already done it. Nobody's going to come and celebrate with you until you've already done it. The work is going to come before the belief, which means you're going to have to work for a long time by yourself with no applause, with no awards, with nobody telling you good job. And then once you start to build something and people start to see the momentum and they start to see the result and you start doing some things, then you're going to get a little belief.
Nobody cares. You know, at the end of the day, nobody cares. What we're going through, how your body feels, nobody cares. We got to do our job.
Never back down when your back's against the wall. It matters how many times you get back up, not how many times you fall. It's about your mentality. What's the point of dreaming the dream if you're not working to turn that dream into reality? So speak life into your life. Say, I am purpose, I am healed, I am free, I am me, I am my next level, I am greatness. Speak life into your life. Be your own motivation. You see, a legend is just an ordinary person with extraordinary determination. So find a way and make one, because at the end, you just regret the chances you didn't take. So find the courage to take one. Your only limit is you.
Don't ever be ashamed of anything you've done in your life. Face it, fix it, make it better. Build belief, build confidence to the point where nothing can hurt you because you know exactly who you are. You've faced your demons in your mind. You were able to hear all your past traumas. You were able to listen to them. You're able to say, okay, now I can now talk to people about what I went through. I'm no longer embarrassed. I'm no longer ashamed. Being ashamed is one of the biggest things that people nowadays, in their minds, kill them from moving forward. I'm ashamed of myself. We are humans. But then again, if you always think that we're humans, you will always just be a human and always make the same mistakes. Go through the archives, dig it up, study it, and then use it for yourself.
It's how you gained mastery. See, feeling confident is because that's what you feel after you've done it over and over and over again. But true confidence begins the moment you're willing to try.
We are taken apart slowly, convinced to take an easier path, enticed by comfort. Most of us aren't defeated in one decisive battle. We are defeated one tiny, seemingly insignificant surrender at a time that chips away at who we should really be. It isn't that you wake up one day and decide, that's it, I'm going to be weak. No. It is a slow, incremental process. It chips away at our will, it chips away at our discipline.
When you invest in something, and you hustle and you work for something, you got a different type of attachment to it. You're gonna have a cold day in hell for somebody to try to take this from you. We live by this, we die by this. We don't surrender, we don't retreat.
Once something's important to you, it never leaves your mind. If you always dreamt about being a singer-songwriter and you never did it, you will be haunted by that at the age of 70, because it's still right here, stored in the back of your mind. It's something that's meant for you, that's trying to call to you. You see, your dreams, you either pursue them or they fucking haunt you.
You're suffering from self-doubt while others are intimidated by your full potential. If your past self could see where you're at today, think of how impressed they would be.
Imagine there are eternal verities: truth, beauty, justice, love, courage, fortitude, passion. Think of all those things as virtues. So virtue is what all virtues have in common. That's the relationship of God to the good. God is the essence of the good. Or you would think, how would that manifest itself in your life? Well, that might be pursuit of the good. That's the pursuit of the good that unites all proximal good. Well, what is that exactly? Well, it's something like belief that it would be for the best, that all things flourish to the degree that that's possible.
We're not on the stage just because of talent or ability. We're up here because of 4 a.m. We're up here because of 2-a-days or 5-a-days. We're up here because we had a dream and let nothing stand in our way. If anything tried to bring us down, we used it to make us stronger. We were never satisfied, never finished, will never be retired.
I'm moving forward with my life because I deserve a better life. There's a you inside of you that you haven't even met yet. There's a life waiting for you that you haven't even experienced yet because you're choosing to stay in a life that isn't meant for you no more. You have left your greatness, you have left your peace, you have left that fulfilled you that you know who you are. You have left that person on the shelf for far too long. And you accepted something that's past its expiration date. But you got to make the decision right now. You got to make the choice to say, no more. I refuse to settle for less anymore.
The price of regret is much heavier than the price of discipline. You never want to wake up one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year down the road and go, man, I wish I would have listened to my gut. I wish I would have done this thing. We don't want to live in regret. If there's something you want to get done in work, your relationships, school, whatever it is, do it.
You have to start living your life in expectation. You have got to start expecting great things to happen for you in order for it to happen. If you live your life in expectations, that's what happens to you.
You began with a dream, a vision of what you could be. You've gotten a measure of success, but now that success has become a trap because you're addicted to what you bet. But that's not all that you're capable of. That's not all that you have to offer. That's not all that is within you. You've got to be willing to keep evolving, keep changing, keep developing. When they close out one door, you have to realize that a house is made of many doors.
So open the next door and see what's behind it. And if you have to take down walls in order to expand your reach, your realm, your gifting, your talents, then do so. But keep evolving.
Turn your wounds into wisdom. You will be wounded many times in your life. You'll make mistakes. Some people will call them failures. But I have learned that failure is really God's way of saying, excuse me, you're moving in the wrong direction. It's just an experience.
It's your unlimited desires that are clouding your peace, your happiness. Every desire you have is an access where you will suffer.
Don't stop running toward your dream. It's very important. As you hold on to that dream, there are moments when you're going to doubt yourself. There are rough times are going to come, but they have not come to stay. They have come to pass. It's very important for you to know that. Don't say I'm having a bad day. Say I'm having a character building day.
Every man has two lies. And the second starts when he realizes he has just one.
The truth is, passion isn't in a person, it isn't in a place, and it isn't in a thing. It's something inside of you.
Whatever position you're at, you want to be the bull, that I'm going to be better than anybody else. You can be the bull at any position you're doing, and it's just telling yourself, I'm going to do this better than anybody else. I don't care what the job is. I don't care what you do. You be the bull at what you do.
So you might want to get honest with yourself. Like, instead of doing this, oh, be a millionaire or this, do you really? Because you can make it happen. You actually can. You time travel forward a year. You investigate the patterns that you have that are giving you the result that you want, and then you back your ass up to right here, right now, and you decide, am I willing to do this now?
Mostly trying to find out what it is that I can do that only I can do. That's the real challenge, and that is something that I think takes your life to figure out. We can actually tell people that you are successful because you have found yourself, that it's independent of how much money you made, it's independent of how many followers you have. It's really about whether you have come to find out what it is that you can contribute, what impact you can have that no one else will have.
So the game of life, if it is a game, the end game is to be irreplaceable. You're one of a kind. You're original. There's nobody who can replace you, just as there's nobody who can replace Leonardo da Vinci. There's no one else like Napoleon Bonaparte. There's no one else like Steve Jobs. There's nobody else that can take their place. And that is the ultimate position of power in this world.
No longer push the snooze button. If any of you have been pushing the snooze button, waiting for some special moment in the future, waiting till everything's perfect, now is the time. The cosmic alarm clock is ringing, saying, wake up, it's your time. Your dreams, your visions that you have chosen you.
I'm suffering a lot more than I think is tenable. A whole bunch of it's my fault. My life is not in the order it should be. I know I'm doing 50 things wrong. It's like, what the hell's wrong with me? What's wrong with the people around me? This is really serious. No, I'm not okay the way I am. I'm not okay at all the way I am. I know that. Well, no, you're nowhere near what you could be. That's the positive message. It's like, yeah, you're a mess, but you don't have to stay that way.
What makes Brady want to win a fifth? What makes Jordan say, okay, I got 4? Like, it's not even a new season. He said, we got to get the 5th one. What makes Serena get 23? I'm telling you, it's not the money, the network. It's not, the vision board. It's, I believe, for those of us who are where we are, it's something within, and you can't go buy that. Like, you've got to go within and find that and pull that stuff out.
Every human being is born unique. Each one of you was born with a DNA and a configuration of your brain that has never happened before in history and will never happen in the future. And I compare this uniqueness that each one of you has to a voice that's inside of your head.
telling you, you should be doing this, you should be doing this, it's what fits you, it's what you're good at. But what happens with all of us as you get older is that voice gets weaker and weaker. You start thinking in terms of what really matters is I have to be comfortable, I have to look for a position that's comfortable. Well, masters are people who hear that voice and they hear it so strongly that they stay true to it throughout the course of their life.
The reason you get yourself in a passionate place is so that you change your life, and the only thing that changes your life is making a decision. So while you're in this passionate state, that's where you make decisions. If you make a decision in a state without momentum, if you make a decision from a place where there's no passion, you are not going to get momentum. It'll kill momentum. It's decide, commit, and resolve.
Or your life's task. This was what you were meant to do in life. It's that seed that was planted at birth in your uniqueness.
How is the worst thing that ever happened to me the best thing that ever happened to me? Can you learn to stay calm in the chaos? Because my friend, I have the chills. If you can do that, it will serve you so well in every single area of your life. In a relationship, in business, if you want to be an athlete, if you want to play games, if whatever it is that you do, one of the things that you're going to have to become great at is letting all of the noise drift away into nothing and getting into laser focus on the thing you're working on.
I just want you to try. In those moments where you hear yourself, I want you to try. In those moments where you know that it's time to speak up, I want you to try. That's all that I ever ask of you, because if you simply do that, you will literally unlock the potential of your life.
It's through that failure that we learn. It's the trial and errors. The error part is usually important. Nurturing the edges, trying to be at the edge of things, right? So in order to support innovation, you have to be comfortable with failing.
You decided there's something you wanted so bad that you unleashed all your desire. You became obsessed with it. If it was a business or a car or a relationship or a transformation in your body, if there's something you once envisioned and now it's real, it's because you didn't just envision it, you brought so much emotion to it that now it's in your life. It was once a dream, it was once a goal, and now it's in your life.
Because I know how hard I've played every day. I know how much I'm willing to bleed for my goals. So this is not about emotional austerity. This is not about grinding yourself into the dirt. First of all, it's doing something you love, so that as you're grinding and going that hard, it's something that you just want to do. On the other side, because you're going that hard, that you just don't have the guilt that most people have when you take time off.
Honor the struggle. Like so many people bemoan the hardship and they hate it. And I would say, anything you apply hate to quickly dies. You got a dream and you're hating the process, you apply hate to the process, the dream's gonna die. Be very careful of what you put hate or things to, and most people do that with hardship. And I've always seen hardship as like, I'm gonna honor this process. I'm gonna honor that this is difficult because that is precisely what's needed.
But most people have strategies available, or they could get them, or you could create them. But the problem is you got a story. And your story is why it isn't working. And the story is, I've tried what? Everything. If you tried everything, you'd be fit. There's always a story. And what I tell people is, if you can just divorce the story of your limitation and marry the truth of your unlimited capacity, then the whole game changes.
Deep and lasting fulfillment. The thing that as a human makes us feel good. The thing that we're all secret deep down, no matter what you tell people you're chasing, The thing you're actually chasing is fulfillment. You want to feel good about who you are. You want to feel good about your contributions. You want to feel good about meaning and purpose in your life. So those are the things ultimately that people are chasing. They think that money is going to give that to them, and that they're wrong.
No limit people are human beings who take what they are and accept it, and don't tell themselves that somehow they're deficient because of anything about themselves. It's this idea of taking your life in your own hands and being the kind of person that you choose to be, and understanding that everything that comes your way is an opportunity, is a blessing. And it wasn't until I learned how to celebrate virtually everything that came my way that I was able to transcend it.
Does the decision that you're about to make expand you, expand your future, or expand the possibilities of your life? If the answer is yes, then the decision is yes, no matter how terrifying it is.
Have a mind that is open to everything and attached to nothing. One of the central principles of my life is that no one knows enough to be a pessimist about anything. And that each and every one of us, when we close our mind to what is possible for us or what is possible for humanity, closes off the genius that resides and lives in each and every one of us.
Truth is, life will never be joyous unless you break the joy. I really feel like that. So many people are waiting to have happiness, and they're waiting to, like, well, maybe when my boss loosens up, I'll loosen up, or, you know, when she's vulnerable, I'll be vulnerable, or it's like we're waiting for something. I'm like, it's not, your life will never be what it is going to be unless you bring that thing.
Shakespeare noted, there is nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so. There's nothing good or bad, right? There's just stimulus, and then there's response. People think that it is objectively a certain way. So now, because they think it is objectively a certain way, they feel they are supposed to react based on those emotions that are getting kicked up in their mind. What I'm saying is absolutely not. Those emotions may not serve you. They're certainly not aimed at moving you towards your goal. Their job is to keep you alive, plain and simple. So that's not necessarily very helpful in a modern context. So if you want to always be moving towards your goal, you want to be optimized, you got to learn to get control of your emotions. You've got to learn to understand to tell yourself a narrative that isn't predicated on necessarily identifying what is objectively true, because I don't think that we experience the world that way. It's identifying what's going to work to get me to my goal.
And if you don't find something that you love what you do, don't bother. Because if you don't have a passion for what you do and you love, it gets old. Okay? Well, if you're not passionate about what you do in life, it gets old, and then it becomes work. And as soon as it becomes work, we're finished.
So this progress that we're creating in the search for ubiquity of happiness, for the utopia of this place that we will arrive at, this tropical place called happiness, is the biggest lie of it all. So the truth of our existence is that there is nothing truly on the outside that can ever fill us up.
A lot of you feel stuck because you're waiting for some kind of external force to either push it and pressure you to change and to be great and to be amazing, or you're waiting for somebody to give you permission. More than likely, no one's gonna. The only kind of force that will truly create change in your life is you, the internal kind of force. I hate to say it, but for those of you that feel really stuck and you keep thinking that somebody's got to hit me, it's ridiculous. This is external versus internal force.
procrastination is caused by the fear of success. No, if you did it, you'd win and you'd be better. So I didn't do it so I could be my comfortable self. Next thing I knew, the opportunity passed. It felt so good just to be me again.
All I'm saying about vulnerability is that when you are in uncertainty, when you feel at risk, when you feel exposed, don't tap out. Stay brave, stay uncomfortable, stay in the cringy moment, lean into the hard conversation, and keep leading. Stay brave.
When it comes to being the person you want to be, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for to get started? If this journey that you want to go on is something that you truly are passionate about and committed to, then waiting for everything to be perfect is absolutely the wrong answer. Getting started, taking that first step, that's the answer. Nobody starts out as an expert. Nobody starts out as a tremendous athlete or an incredible piano player or the expert in their field. They all start at the very beginning as a novice. They commit to the craft and they spend the time necessary to get to where they want to be.
Understand that your story is being written as we speak. Oftentimes we wait until we see some sign or some alert, a notification on our phone that tells us a guy, that opportunity, that relationship, that big break you've been praying for, it's coming. But that's not how life works. Good stories have plot twists in them. And up until this point, maybe every plot twist of your life has been negative. Family members got sick or passed away. Got fired from a job, the business deal fell through. That just means you're due for a positive plot twist. Make no mistake about it. It's coming. So keep your chin up. Stay ready. Your story is still being written.
The magic that you're looking for in your life is found in the work that you are not doing. The supernaturalness that you are wanting in your life is found in the sacrifices you're not making, the community you're not in, the generosity you're withholding. You're gonna have to confront fears. You're gonna have to do stuff you've never done.
What matters most is how you walk through the fire.
You can walk through the fire complaining along the way, or you can walk through the fire and create an example for everyone else so that the trials and tribulations of their own life seem trivial because they're comparing themselves to the way you handle things.
Potential is not what you can achieve, it's who you can become. There's a saying, if you're too focused on results, you'll never change. But if you're focused on change, then the results are inevitable. If you achieve success without changing, you will not hang on to that success. Because maybe everything on the outside changed, but nothing on the inside changed. Pray to become the person who can achieve and sustain success. Potential is all about who you can become.
And really what you need to do is just get off the couch and take that first step to whatever that journey is. Wherever you want to be. Start it today. Not tomorrow, not once I get something done. Start today. Take the first step, no matter how small, no matter how ugly, no matter how imperfect. Take that first step. Because that first step is the beginning of getting you to the end. And it's the journey, it's the getting there, it's the falling down along the way and getting back up and dusting yourself off and learning through failure and growing through challenges instead of going through them that will make you the person you want to be on the other side. Greatness is in you, but you have to take the first step to find it.
Believing in something worth fighting for is when you unveil the true meaning of strength. The true realization of how it feels to carry on past the point that once broke you. Remember? Now look at you, fueled by the fire of faith and belief that no matter what darkness throws at you, no matter what setback or excuse doubt has for you, you have an unshakable resolve that you are a warrior of the light. You are the catalyst of cataclysmic change. You are the one with words that will change the world because you are guided by something greater than any enemy can challenge you with.
Like, I can't say this enough. Stop waiting. You could get hit by a bus next week. Do not waste your life waiting. worrying or wishing for things to change. You gotta want it enough to do the work.
I prefer to be the kind of person who steps up and faces the challenge than the kind of person who stays below the line and avoids challenge. What kind of person do you want to be? What do you want? How badly do you want it? How much are you willing to suffer?
Learn how to handle the winters. They come right after falls, with regularity. Some are long and some are short and some are hard and some are easy, but they keep coming. You must learn to handle the nights. They come right after days. You must learn to handle difficulty. It comes right after opportunity. You must learn to handle recessions. They always follow progressions. See, it isn't going to change. The lesson you must learn is how to handle it. And there's all kinds of winters, right? The winter when you can't figure it out. The winter when it all goes smash. The winter when it turns belly up. The winter when it won't work, when you've run out of money and you've got a broken heart. See, those are winter signs.
Don't waste the failing. Because oftentimes, what do we do when things don't go the way we want it to go? We throw the experience away, right? But we learn more in moments of defeat than we do when we get the victory. Because when you get the victory, nobody can tell you nothing. But when you lose, you listen.
After you lose, or when you get knocked out, stay down there for a minute. Understand why you lost. What were the reasons? Why are you down here? Why did you lose? Why did you get knocked out? Because if you just jump right back up, you're gonna lose again and again, and you continue to lose the same way. So every time I lost, I stayed down for a second, minutes, hours, days, weeks. But when I stood up, I was different.
If tomorrow was not a guarantee, how far would you push? If you thought that today was your last opportunity to ever do the thing, how far would you go? How far would you go? How fast would you run? How much would you sacrifice knowing you're never going to lace it up again?
You are willing to make the decision with the mindset, what if it does work out? I think at some point in every person's life, there is that collision between somebody else's expectations and hopes and dreams and yours.
You have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, you don't really love it, you're gonna give up.
What if? A lot of times I'll be in a 200-mile run or something like that, and I'm all jacked up. Body's broken, mind's broken, spirit's broken. I start to say, what if I could pull this off? It's the what if I can pull off a fucking miracle. What if I can become someone that no one thinks I can be?
When you say you're gonna do something and then you follow through and you do it, not at the end when you cross the marathon, you finish it, or your hands raised. I'm talking about right now. The small steps in between the big successes everyone sees. No one sees this.
Don't panic. Right now, this is a rebuilding stage. You need to stop looking at everything that's going wrong and start looking at everything that can go right tomorrow if you put in the work today. No more excuses. No more blaming other people for the hand that you're dealt. Take ownership of everything in your life. Move past the negative thoughts that tell you that you can't. You can get back everything else, but you can't get back today. So make it count.
Those who are great are grateful. The difference is there are those who say, I have to put in the work, and there are those who say, I get to put in the work. One of them is gonna put in more work, put in more of the small details into their craft, and they're gonna get out a whole lot more because they're grateful to be there.
You must hold yourself accountable, and being your hero, that's what that does. You make yourself so totally accountable for who you are. You focus on you and only on you to become the best person you could be for others. Because we leave a lot on the table, not searching who we are. and therefore you die not knowing your greatest potential.
You will become whatever you're fascinated with. You always become whatever you're fascinated with. This is the law of mind. If you become fascinated by poverty, you become poor. You become fascinated with sickness and the reports of all kinds of diseases, you will become sick. Whatever you become fascinated with, you'll get it and it'll get you. This is the law of mind and it works with anything. So do not become fascinated with what you do not want. If you want to be wealthy, become fascinated with wealth. Become fascinated with wealthy people. If you want to be successful and prosperous, become fascinated with successful, prosperous people.
The only way I lose is if I quit. It's going to be a dogfight. And so if you're ready to quit, then don't get started. If you're ready to quit, don't get started. If you're looking for this easy path, don't get started. If you think they're not going to close the door for you and say no 1,000,000 times, don't get started. But every time they close the door, I just get excited. Why? Because I am not a no. I'm one yes away.
I want to share with you is to wake up early and stack wins. What I mean is we need to start stacking little wins. Most of you out there think that success in life is a byproduct of big wins. Like I got to make that deal, I got to get that sale, I got to start that partnership. And the big wins are important too, make no mistake about it. But I'm here to tell you that the little wins stacked every day, every hour, over time, over days, weeks, and months, make you a gangster of a human being.
Discipline. People use that word so loosely that you have to sacrifice loved ones in order to be great because they don't understand. I am getting up every single day at 5 or 6 a.m. And when I get home after everyone leaves the gym, I'm gonna take a nap. So now you're sacrificing your loved ones because you're not spending time with them. And when I wake up, I'm probably gonna train again, and then I'm gonna have dinner, and then I'm going to bed. And I'm gonna do that every single day for a long period of time. That's sacrifice and discipline.
Most people will not understand your obsession, your drive, and your determination. Success is a lonely journey. That's just a reality. And most people are not gonna understand why you're so driven, why you're so obsessed. And if you try and make them understand, you're gonna end up frustrated. The best advice I can tell you is, go on the journey by yourself.
In the battle, you find peace. When you go to war with yourself, you find a lot of peace. It's because you know exactly who you are. And that is where the peace is really found for me.
He said, then there are those who reach a stage in which they realize the futility of this constant striving, struggling for the things that perish, things which after they are obtained prove to be shadows. It is at this stage that some persons turn from this seeking for things in the outer realm to a seeking for them from God. Taking the focus in my life off of the things, the accomplishments, the acquisitions, reputation, ownership, which we begin to identify ourselves as.
Actually ask yourself if this is what you wanted or were you just used to it?
For somebody that's struggling, you start rewarding incremental steps that are about forward action.
Every passing minute is another chance to turn it all around.
You have to be alert when you're suffering. You have to be alert to the beauty in life, the unexpected beauty in life. And you have to look and see where things are still beautiful and where there's still something that's sustaining that can get you through some very dark times.
Agitation and stress were designed to get us up and move us. And when we try and fight that too much, and we try and quiet that stress, that actually can be problematic. You have to decide, are you gonna try and quiet stress, or are you gonna actually lean into action? That's a critical choice point for everybody who's experienced anything negative. Forward movement, provided it doesn't endanger you, is absolutely the remedy for fear, stress.
Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's acting in the face of it. And confidence isn't the absence of self-doubt, it's being willing to try even though you doubt yourself. The world gave us a gigantic experiment where ye got to practice, you get to continue to practice the most important skill on the planet, which is emotional resilience.
You do have to embrace the darkness. You do have to embrace the rage.
People have like a gift inside of their greatness inside of them. They have a passion inside of them. And now's the time to let it out.
2020 is a reset year. 2020, it's not by accident that it's 2020 and a new decade. It's 2020 vision for 2020 and beyond. This is the year for reset. This is the year for restart. This is the year for reignite. This is the year for repeat the things that you love. This is the year for recommit. This is the year for redesign. This is the year for re-engage. This is the year for restart. This is that year.
The external lesson for me has just been to realize like it's so important to work hard when things are good. When you're in your flow and you've got momentum and you get in the lane and go roll with it and you work harder, you set yourself up for times like this. And I think the problem is that when you get too safe and secure and complacent, you start to think like, oh, nothing bad can happen to me, nothing can touch me. And then all of a sudden, something like this happens and everyone's back at square one.
But I'll never be poor again. And poor is a state of mind of feeling out of control, scarcity-minded, taking pride in being blue collar. No one should ever take pride in being blue collar, period. Period. You've got a brain, you've got a solution to a problem that people want to pay for. Put it out there. Like so many people probably come up to you, and I know they come up to me, I've got this great idea. One day I'm gonna do it. When is that day?
I'm gonna invite you, don't sign up for the goal, sign up for the inconvenience it's gonna cost you. Every day say yes to whatever it takes, no matter what.
And this is the reason why we feel pain, is because we attach significance to a particular moment, right? The reason why you and I have on feel pain is that we attach significance to that moment. And then when that moment is taken away from us, we think our significance has been taken away from us. You think that all that work is lost because you had significance attached to that moment. But the truth is that's not true. The significance was in the work you put in.
See, so many of you want to play big in the world, but you keep making it optional. And every time it gets too hard, you sit it back down. The moment you make it non-negotiable, not an option, slide every option off the table, you're not wondering about the mountain and how big it is because you said you must bow down.
Remember this, your life is not about you. Rather,
Your life is about the lives of everyone you touch. When you make your life about the lives of everyone you touch, you will never wake up feeling anxiety or worry or stress again.
The red pill, its only promise is the truth. That's it. It's not saying that it's going to make things better. It's simply going to reveal the way that the world really is. And that for me was incredibly intoxicating. And I took the red pill intellectually, and what I began to realize is that the mind is the matrix in and of itself. Because I can tell you right now, today, in this moment, I promise you, the matrix has you.
You know, I want to live in a world in which the vast majority of people wake up every single morning inspired to go to work, feel safe when they're there, and come home fulfilled at the end of the day. That is not the world we live in now. That is the world I want to live in, and that is the world I want my friends and family to live in.
The true goals, true intention comes from within. And when it comes from within, you tend to have more emotion towards it.
Because I can do something. If I can do it better than others, and it's for a greater good in society, I would be irresponsible if I did not. That many people look for meaning in life, as though they will, I'm still searching for meaning in what my life, as though it's going to be under a rock. You have more power than that. You have the power to create meaning in your life, rather than passively look for it.
This is water. To a fish, water is so ubiquitous it ceases to exist. Now we all have that same thing, and it's playing on us, and it's keeping us from becoming who we want to become. And that thing is our mindset. It's our belief system. It is so ever present. It is so ingrained into the fabric of who you are and the way that you process data, you don't even notice it. You don't even know that it's real. And this is the thing that impacts your life. It is your inability to see that your mindset controls everything, that it is water in and of itself. That once you become aware of the water, you can change everything. That you can go from a scared, lost kid in Tacoma to whomever you want to be.
Have I, by whatever powers I have available to me, have I lessened the suffering of others? Or the corollary to that would be, have I enhanced the life of others? They're related. And I don't mean, have I devoted the whole day to doing that? Then I would be ignoring myself. But if there's some small gesture that I can do that can completely add value to someone's life, I'm gonna do it. Because the leveraging of 10 minutes of my life into the happiness or enlightenment or the reduced suffering of someone else, I'd be irresponsible if I did not.
And that 1/3, or not all of my life, is generated through pure intention. There's a large portion of it, Marie says 1/3, that is your soul's intention for you. In other words, it is people that you are meant to meet, and it's predetermined. It's situations you're meant to go through, and you're meant to experience these situations. And sometimes it's pain and failure that you're meant to go through so your soul can learn. And you want to surrender into this. Now, but what this means is accept uncertainty. If you have 3 goals, one may just not be in your soul's path. That's okay.
Once you pick a meaning, which is always your choice, then you can start to build a great life. Stories are the outpicturing or the way we tell the own journey that we have to go through, and most people live vicariously through a film.
So many people in the world today are obsessed with this idea called the law of attraction. But I can tell you the law of attraction is wrong. The universe doesn't give you what you want. The universe gives you who you are. Don't think law of attraction, think law of resonance. In other words, you have to be that which you want. And then the universe responds.
if that's the game that we're playing, if I can construct my belief system, if I can choose at any moment to believe something that's more empowering, one can have no smaller or greater mastery than mastery over oneself.
On my tombstone, I want the epitaph: be ashamed to die until you have scored some victory for humanity. Any of us, I think, should want the world to be a little better off for you having lived in it. So what do you have to give with no expectation of return?
When a hero stumbles, well, the cowards rejoice. Nothing feels better to a coward than to watch a brave guide fall.
This life is not here to make you suffer. This life is here to make you understand what is your potential. Maybe there is something bigger that you can become. This is also meaning discover your potential.
You may be frustrated with where you are right now, but think about the story that you can tell later when you're where you want to be. If you're working some shitty job right now, or you're broke, or you're in debt, or you just got fired, it sucks right now. But one day this will be a chapter of your life that you'll not only be grateful for, but one that you can use to inspire other people. So before you start feeling sorry for yourself, remind yourself of the story that you're going to tell later. Knowing how far you've come and being able to tell that story is going to be worth whatever you're going through right now.
You got two choices. One, you get scared, you give up, and then you burn up. I mean, the second one, you say, Jay, fear, and you barrel through it. But when you come out on the other side, I guarantee you, you're going to be stronger than you ever thought possible.
You lose more life trying to optimize everything than just living it. The stress of trying to be perfect is killing you more quickly than your imperfections.
I will never wish for fewer epic stories at the end of my life. And I've never regretted failures. I've always regretted things that I didn't try.
Dreams have a purpose, but those dreams are not necessarily to be fulfilled. They are a vehicle that gets you moving.
Very easy to stay in that realm of comfort with the people at the bottom, but you'll never fly high enough. You may have to go at it alone, and you may be your only supporter, but that's okay, because that's the most important supporter. That's the one that you can rely on to put in the work every single day, despite what you're going through, because it's hard to rely on people, especially ones who don't see the vision.
This is one of the best questions, I think, to ask yourself when faced with a decision, which is, what would you tomorrow want you today to do?
You might be dealing with a lot right now, and it might be easier to hide and run from it all. Don't. Embrace the storm. Let it harden you, because on the other side of the struggle is a version of you that is stronger, healthier, and more unstoppable than you ever thought possible. Running away from the challenge won't get you anywhere, but showing up for yourself, even when it's hard, will. Stay strong. You got this.
There's a self in you that wants to come out, that's there, that's buried within, that will feel better. When we bring it out, we feel better. The lower self is our animal nature. When you're bringing out the higher self, you're becoming human. Your lower self is your addictions. You're always wanting something easy and fast and quick. And when you indulge in that, you don't feel good. You want to bring out that higher self. And I want you to confront that and not deny it anymore and see that that's in you. It's in everyone. It's not like every human has it. It's extremely democratic. Ultimately, happiness comes down to the decision of choosing to become aware of our mental afflictions or choosing to be ruled by them. This is what hard feels like. Did you think the thing that you wanted to try and achieve was going to be easy? No. Okay. So what's the entry price of trying to achieve this thing? Well, it's hard.
Like you are here to be challenged by things. This is what hard feels like.
You can be very grateful for what it is you have right now and still be ambitious with goals and dreams and visions that you want for yourself. And in fact, being grateful is part of being happy along the journey. Being happy along the journey takes 3 components. It takes gratitude, it takes a mission, and it takes discipline. And if you have those 3 things operating in your being, you're going to be happy along the way. That's reality.
Do it sad, do it angry, do it heartbroken, do it miserable, do it excited, do it energized, do it happy, do it tired, do it confident, do it discouraged. Do it anyway.
Life is not just the passing of time. Life is a collection of experiences, their frequency and their intensity. Life is not just watching clock tick away. Life is a collection of experiences, their intensity, their frequency. Whatever the span of your life turns out to be, here's what you want to fill it up with: experiences and the intensity of those experiences.
Success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure, because the human mind is not going to make you happy. This brain of yours won't do it. You have to direct it. And there's no worse fate than to achieve everything and not be fulfilled.
There are a lot of voices in life trying to define us, tell us who we are. Sometimes they're uplifting, a parent telling us that we're talented, we can do great things. Other times they're negative. You're not attractive. There's nothing special about you. You made too many mistakes. You missed your chance. When you listen to all these voices, it's easy to think, who's telling the truth? Who am I? Here's the key. The only voice that matters is your voice.
The fastest way to change your life is to start keeping the promises you make to yourself. You chose this, and even though it might be hard, you still owe it to yourself to see it through. Don't live with regret. Put it all on the line and let it play out the way it's supposed to. The last thing you want to do is wonder what if. Don't give yourself that option. Make it happen now.